Shalom, and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Cantor Hillary Chorny.
Welcome. I lit a candle in my room, trying to enter a zone of sensory calm. I hope you can too. It's hard to change our spaces into calm spaces sometimes these days. I hope you can find a way to bring some calm to wherever you are. That's my way right now. This one is a homesick candle scented after Seattle. So shout out to my family in Seattle. I miss them. I'm going to give us a prompt having to do with Pesach and the Seder, because this Sunday is Rosh Chodesh Nisan. A little plug for Sunday morning's Hama'alot Rosh Chodesh service you can join for with Cantor Michelle Stone and Rabbi Rebecca Schatz and Rabbi Adam Kligfeld. A little preview to thinking about that and about the Seder that's coming. And I want you to think about, in that phrase, Avadim Hayinu Ata B'nei Chorin, something simple, which is all of the physical set of rituals that we do to represent our freedom. My favorite of those is the washing of the hands by someone else. By coincidence, yesterday, I was talking with one of my students from Ziegler about the difference between dipping in mikveh and tahara, which is the purification of a deceased body in preparation for burial. And one of the primary differences between those two rituals, both of which are related to the idea of tahara, of purification or of readiness from going from one state to another, is this idea of dipping one's own body and the kavod, the merit of having somebody else washing you, the deep dignity involved in that act. And that's the dignity that's involved in that moment at the Seder table of having your hands washed by somebody else who is sitting by you, and then you turning to the next person and washing their hands. It is an utter expression of freedom and dignity. These are the hands of a free person. They deserve to be washed, cleansed, ready to eat rather than work, ready to serve God rather than Pharaoh. This is our meditation. So I invite you to bring yourself to a state of rest. Let gravity take you towards the earth. Bring your breath to a place of rest. Let it settle in you. Let yourself settle to the earth. Let your feet settle to the floor. Let your body come to rest. Even though we know that the earth is moving, we experience it as being at rest. We experience ourselves as being in a moment of rest right now. Experience the core of your body as being at rest. Let it lean back in a state of what we sometimes refer to as poised rest in this space. Let your shoulders settle as your breath fills you It allows you to remain quietly at rest, but alive, calm and alive, settled, well alive. Let your jaw release. Let your brow release. Settle in yourself. With your eyes closed, I want you to bring in awareness to your hands. Notice, even with closed eyes, where your hands are at rest on you right now. Think of where they have been today. Who have your hands served today? Are your hands tired? You can wiggle them a little bit. Remind yourself that your hands are powerful, flexible. That if you are able to grasp with them, that is an ability. Some of us are differently abled with our hands. I want you to ask yourself now, when you are sitting at the Seder table this year, what would you like to wash off of your hands? What would you like to have washed off of your hands by whomever is with you? If you'll be alone at your Seder this year, what would you have liked to have someone else wash off your hands this year? How would you like to see your hands go from slavery to freedom? Have you done something undignified this year with your hands that might be washed away? And one last question before we go into quiet meditation. Is there someone in your life on whom you would like to pour out dignity? Someone you'd like to bestow dignity upon, someone who deserves to have dignity poured on their hands? Someone who works hard? Someone who deserves to be cleansed of their tireless efforts? I want you to call them to your mind now. And thank them. We're going to stay in that gratitude space and sit with it for a few minutes. When you're ready, I invite you to emerge from that settled space, but hold on to the gratitude. You can lift your eyelids, come back to the surface. Take a deep breath. I'm going to blow out my candle. I'll say namaste and shalom. Thank you for joining.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.